Are you ready?
Oh, yeah!
Strap yourselves in for the Gaming Hub. With your hosts, Tyler.
You can't handle the truth!
Graham.
The force is strong, isn't it?
And Steven.
You cannot be serious!
Let's get started.
Alrighty.
Hey everybody, and welcome into the Gaming Hub. This is episode number 109. I'm your host Tyler, saying thanks so much for joining us, and I'm joined by our two co-hosts as always, starting with Graham. Graham, you had a busy day today, and you have less money now than you did this morning.
No, I still have all the money.
Okay.
Potentially. But that money is spoken for.
So what did you do?
Well, I was perusing on my phone, and they're like, oh, there's a whole bunch of merchandise for Fallout 76. And it showed a picture of a Pip-Boy. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I clicked on it, and I looked on it, and they had Pip-Boys. They had statues. They had replicas of weapons and just so much awesome stuff related to Fallout 76. And I bought a few things. Or
A few.
Pre-ordered a few things.
Okay, so Graham, what are the chances, what are the odds that you will cancel the pre-order on these?
Pretty slim unless I hit
So-
some really hard times. And
Yes.
after I sell off everything I own. No, not everything. But it's pretty slim. I didn't go crazy. I could have been a lot crazier, but
You could have.
I did exercise some restraint.
And it's not as bad, Graham, as the memorabilia that's on the Ubisoft store right now for Beyond Good and Evil 2, which isn't coming out for a long time.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? Assassin's Creed, right? There were
Yes.
statues for each of those, and weren't they like $700?
Yeah, they're
something?
almost $1,000 Canadian. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
So this was not as bad. And the stuff, I'll give it to you, actually looks really cool.
Yes.
So that's, good. We're happy for you that
Thank
you went
you.
and spent absurd amounts of money on more stuff that you really don't need. But that's all right. That's like
And
the
I
fun
don't really
stuff,
have the
right?
space for it, but we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it.
Yeah, but if you really need it, it's not as much fun to buy it, is it? So
It's true.
yeah. Steven, did you make any ridiculous purchases today?
No, I did not. I've been good this week with not spending my money,
Yeah.
for the first time in 6 months.
So
There you
so-
go. I did it for you, Steven.
You want to send me one of those rewards too?
I'll think about it.
All right.
so
I thought about it. Nope.
all right. So when does that stuff actually release, Graham? Is it November?
Yes, it's November.
Okay, so right around launch for the game.
Yeah, so around launch time for sure.
So if
And,
anybody's interested, it's GameStop or EB Games, right, in Canada.
yes,
Or where's the other place?
I think it's also available on the Bethesda website because
Okay.
I think they did a partner thing.
Okay. Because I know we have some listeners in our community that are huge Fallout fans, so they
Bigger
might
than
be
me.
interested in checking it out as well. And the Pip-Boy thing, you put it together yourself, right?
Yes.
So yeah, it all comes just the parts, and you have to assemble it and all that good stuff. So anyway, you had a busy day, so that's
Yes.
great.
Yes, that was my day.
But yeah, thank you again for joining us, everybody, for episode 109. We do a podcast every single week, and you can find us lots of different places. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, CastBox, Pocket Cast, Stitcher, whatever you listen to shows like ours on. And if you want to take part in the community, we got a lot of cool stuff going on right now. We're actually doing a giveaway tonight for the month of June, in which we give away a gift card, plus one of the members of our community was nice enough to offer up a copy of Gears of War 4 for the Xbox One, which I think includes digital copies for the other Gears games, which is pretty awesome. So you'll get both those things if you're the winner tonight. But you can join our community by going over to Facebook, the Gaming Hub forums there. You can go to Twitch. There's people watching us on Twitch. Right now, we do the show live every Friday night on Twitch. And that's TXH Gaming Hub on Twitch. When you're there, you can click on the link for Discord. Join our Discord community. We also have a link right from our Facebook. And take part in the conversation there. And finally, you have a couple other options. You can go to Twitter at TXH Gaming Hub there. And YouTube, the Gaming Hub podcast there. I think that's all the plugs, guys. If you really like our show and you want to help support us, you can head on over to Patreon. Patreon.com/GamingHub. We really appreciate all your support. We're going to be doing lots of different things like tournaments for some of the sports games. We're going to be doing community plays for other types of games to get people involved and have some cool prizes and all that kind of stuff. So if you like that stuff, please come take part and also help support us. The more, kind of the better we do on that and the more of that type of stuff we can do. And we want to do a lot of it. So also, if you are an Amazon Prime member, then you get a free sub on Twitch every single month. And if you choose to use that on us, we'd really appreciate it. But if you don't, use it on somebody. Use it on somebody you like watching on Twitch. Help support them and help them grow. So, all right, that's all the plugs. So let's get into news,
In the
guys.
news.
And again, not a whole lot going on, but we do have some stuff. So let's start with EA. EA didn't have a really great E3. They did okay.
They weren't the worst.
They weren't the worst. Well, it's hard to be the worst when Square Enix showed up.
That's true.
But it was announced that Amy Hennig, who, remember all the hoopla around her coming to EA to make this Star Wars game. And it was going to be a single-player experience. And if you don't remember, Amy Hennig was the lead story person for the Uncharted games for Naughty Dog. She came over to EA to do Star Wars. And it came out that she left EA actually in the early part of the year. And that Star Wars game, which originally they had said was just kind of getting reworked, is now completely canceled. What do you think? Steve, I want to go to you first here. You're a Star Wars fan like me. Is this disappointing to you?
Yes. I don't think it was canceled. Well, how I read it was that it was tabled or shelved. So
Shelved.
it's possible
Okay. Well, that probably means
we'll get
canceled.
it.
But yeah.
But we're not getting it. And yeah, that's disappointing. I really would like a single player Star Wars game because the Battlefronts have not done it for me because they're not good. So, I guess the only hope is on the Respawn Star Wars game now. I really wish EA didn't have the Star Wars license because they haven't done anything good with it. My thoughts.
Yeah, no, they really haven't. Graham, you're not as big of a Star Wars fan, but I know that you love the games that are those immersive single-player experiences where you can just kind of go do a lot of different things and sort of kind of create your own experience in it.
Yes.
Is this something you would have wanted to play?
Yes, it would. Especially we're talking about timing too. Because everything now is Star Wars. Star Wars is pretty much at its peak hype right now with the reboots. Pretty much. Han Solo just come out, and we just had one last December. So it is unfortunate because me and I'm sure a lot of people would probably enjoy this, and it kind of these types of games too. You learn more about it, so you can get more involved into it and pretty much get yourself prepped for Episode 9 or whatever. Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, it sucks. It really does. But I guess it's out of our control. And like Steven said, we had that Respawn game, so definitely look forward to see what that's going to be all about, which we really know nothing about. So that's probably a long ways away.
Oh yeah, that's a ways away yet. We're not gonna. I think next E3 we'll actually see something of that at the EA show. So I am interested to see that. But if you're watching on Twitch right now, we have the image up of the little slice that they showed at E3. Was it last year or even the year before? I don't remember now.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
But the game looked amazing. I remember there was some cheering there when that was shown. Because that looked really cool. Because it's easy to make... I've always kind of felt... Steve, I know you agree, that the Battlefront games just kind of feel like Battlefield with a Star Wars skin on them.
Yep.
Yeah. So this was different, and it looked amazing. It looked awesome. And I'm really sad to see it gone. Because Amy Hennig is just... She has a reputation for being a great storyteller in video games. And that's perfect for Star Wars. That's what that needs. So, anyway... she is gone from EA. She's going to start a studio to focus on more independent games, and good for her. Wish her all the success. She has definitely paid her dues in the industry doing these massive AAA games, which Steve, you and I are both reading a book right now Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, recommended by a member of the
Nerds.
community. Recommended by a member of the community, and it's awesome. Like, you see the price people pay sometimes for building these massive games, right? And
Yeah, I haven't started reading it yet.
okay, well, you should. It's fantastic. So I'm probably about a little over halfway through, and you see like these AAA games where people just devote so much time and energy, and like, you know, the sacrifices they make, and just the stress they go through, and just it's the basic message of the book is that it's a miracle any game gets finished and released. So yeah, I think she's kind of earned the right to go do some independent projects and kind of do what she really wants to do. So best of luck to her, and can't wait to see what she comes up with. All right. Let's move into the next thing that we have here, and that is Cyberpunk 2077. It was, you know, it got rave reviews coming out of E3. And I know some people were disappointed that the demo was behind closed doors, wasn't shown off to everybody, so we don't really see any footage of it if you weren't there in the room. I get that. But at the same time, we learned this week that that demo was pre-alpha, you know, footage of the game. So, first of all, Steve, like, you and I have talked, I think, off-air about you thought Cyberpunk was coming out sooner rather than later, as in, like, next year. Not this fall, but, like, next year. Do you stand by that, or do you think we're looking at a much longer time frame now?
No, I mean, like, you know, if I was, you know, on the whole Purple Rainbow Unicorn bandwagon here, I'd be like, you know, they only showed the pre-alpha footage, but they actually have beta gameplay. They were just showing the pre-alpha gameplay. But no, I think it's probably now going to be a title going into the new console cycle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. And Graham, I know you
That sucks.
are, like, you're super looking forward to this.
Yes.
Are you disappointed that it appears this game's a ways off?
You know, a part of me is, but when I hear people like raving about it and ranting about it, and everyone was saying that this game is a long ways off, it's probably not going to be 2020. So, like, I know it's going to be a better console, so it's going to make the overall experience so much better. And I still have a huge backlog of games, and there's so many other great games are coming out that I can take time, and hopefully I win the lottery between now and when that game comes out, and I don't have to worry about work, and I could just keep playing video games. But yeah, no, it'd be nice for it, but I understand, and I'm okay with it. CD Projekt Red, they're not like a massive company, so it takes them a while, and they put out The Witcher 3, which was stellar, so I'm sure this game will be stellar, so let them take all the time they need.
Oh.
And I know I was kind of bashing, well, not kind of, but they showed Death Stranding like way too early and stuff like that. So it's kind of like this with me too, is like, okay, like, it's good to announce and stuff like that, but quit teasing us for something that's not coming for like 2 to 3 years. So, because, like, I know they'll show more on it, but right now I'm done with it. It's okay. I'll be patiently waiting for when they have more.
Well, it's about getting excitement, right? How excited were we at the end of the Microsoft conference when we saw that?
Oh, yeah, that was huge.
So,
I did not expect that whatsoever.
Yeah, so it worked, didn't it? And it did exactly what it was supposed to do. And the people that, like, went into that closed-door demo and got to actually see it being played, they were blown away by that game. So now there's so much hype around it, years in advance of actually coming out. It's still going to come out before Death Stranding, pretty sure.
Yeah,
but
probably.
But now, like, it's got so much built up already. How many people are already saying that's a day one buy for me?
Me.
Yeah, all
from
of us,
what I
right?
heard,
all three of us.
Like, I don't know how they, like, what they witness for their minds be blown that much. Because we've had some amazing games, like God of War, and these people are putting this on a higher pedestal than anything that's been out there. So, I don't know, like, it's the detail, but there's so many other great games that got so much detail. So I really wish that I could witness what they witnessed, but they must have witnessed something amazing.
Yeah. So I'm with you though, Graham. Like, take your time, get it right. And, you know, The Witcher 3 released as a pretty almost flawless game in terms of like bugs and stuff like that. I'm sure there was little stuff, right? Every game has something. But there was nothing glaring in that game that I can think of. And kudos to them. So if you can get Cyberpunk out and have it be the same quality, do it.
Yeah.
Take your time. So as long as it's not like 2025, take your time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like 2020, take your time? Cool. We got a lot of good stuff coming out next year already that we heard about in the last couple weeks. So, yeah. All right, up next, my favorite news story of the week. And I want to hear what Steve thinks about this too. But Showtime has officially greenlit and ordered 10 episodes of a Halo TV series that is going to enter production, I think, in January of next year. So we're going to get 10 episodes of Halo that's not that crappy like Halo series we got back when Xbox One was going to be all about like making TV and movies and stuff as well as playing games. It's actually going to be a real show. Well, I shouldn't say real. The other one was technically real. But it's going to be a high quality show with high production value. And I have super high hopes for this. Steve, what about you?
Yeah. Sorry, I saw something funny. No, I'm pretty hyped for this. It's not gonna be Game of Thrones, because that's my number one show. And now I might have to get Showtime, which sucks. Why couldn't HBO just do it so I don't have to spend extra money? But no, I like a Halo TV series. I'm hesitantly excited for it. I just don't know if that's enough time to get it, good. You said it's January next year, like that.
Well,
feels really
not to
soon.
air, to start production.
Oh, okay. All right, then we're fine. Yeah. No, that's awesome. Then that's awesome. I'm excited. I hope they do it well. I wonder where they're gonna go with it. Like, are they gonna just follow the games and shoot that as a movie? Or are they gonna go like before the game started? That's the question. Maybe in between 3 and 4. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do, and I'm excited, nervous, and excited, and I'll get Showtime just to watch this because at least it's Halo on it with some reasonable expectation of decency.
Yeah, and well, there's people already out there looking at the logo and the graphic and the art and trying to decipher little clues about when it could be set and all this stuff.
Wow.
I know. Well, of course they are.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So, Graham, let me ask you this: do you feel, because you've played through a lot of the Halo games now, not quite all of them yet, we got to finish that, but do you feel that Halo's better suited for episodic TV or for the big screen in movies?
I think episodic TV, it's not a massive universe like tons of different species like Mass Effect, so I could see them pulling that off in a movie or maybe a trilogy of movies, but I think this could work as a series. Now, I'm not as big Halo fans as you both are, that's no secret, but I would definitely be interested in watching this and just to see what kind of story and where they would go. Because I don't think it would be a summary of the games. It'd probably be an offshoot. So I don't know exactly. It's got to have Master Chief. I'm sure everyone would just come with pitchforks.
I don't think there's any chance he'd be the main character, but he might appear. Yeah.
So no, I'm definitely curious. I will watch it. Hopefully, it's not a big flop, because then I'm well, I wish I didn't watch this. But no, 10 episodes, and that's just for starters, right? If it's great, they'll how it goes. Even if they say they're only going to do one season and they make all this money, they're well, let's make it a second season, a third season. Well, let's repeat it. Yeah. So, no, and I'm sure there's tons of people that are totally stoked for this and are really optimistic. So I hope they don't disappoint and it be a flop.
Well, yeah, go ahead, Steve.
We could also get a look at Master Chief in his young days. Because we haven't seen anything past the point of Halo 1 or before the point. But one of our Twitch viewers just said that focusing on the Covenant would be cool, and I agree. I'd like to see a lot of stuff about the Covenant. I like the Covenant. Halo 2. It's the reason Halo 2 is one of my favorite games of the series, because you get to play as the Arbiter half the time, and you see a little bit of the inner workings of the politics in there. So I'd be interested in that. I do want to see an episode around the Flood, and I need it to be like pretty creepy. I hope they can do it well, but I would like to see the Flood in a show and get that kind of like fear factor that was there in Halo 1, the first time you encounter the Flood.
Yep.
There's that creepy aspect. I'd like to see that. So we'll see.
Yeah, so what do you think, Steve? Do you think it's better suited for episodic TV or for movies? Like that series think specifically?
Episodic TV, for sure. Because, I don't think that it's going to just retell the game story more in depth, or there's any story from the game.
Sure.
Those might be better suited in a movie, but I think you can tell more in an episodic way in TV. So that was kind of terribly worded, but
that's okay.
So I kind of feel, for whatever reason, that it's better suited for movies, because it's such like big set piece action stuff, and it's a war story, essentially. Like, there's some politics involved, especially if you get more into like the books and things like that, all the inner workings and all that stuff. But as far as like the games go, it's very much focused on that. Like, Graham, one of your favorite series, Fallout, I think would be fantastic for like episodic TV.
Yeah,
I think that would work really well. There's a lot of stories you can tell over like an hour that would add a lot to that universe.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, there's this one series that I watched called The 100, and parts of it remind me of Fallout. So I could see them being able to pull that off. So it'd be interesting to see if they would actually do something like that in the future.
Well, I mean...
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Game of Thrones has really awesome battles, and that's a TV show.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Yeah. It's a decent one, I guess.
It's an amazing one.
But with the new season coming, they're gonna be like 2-hour episodes. Like they're individual movie.
God, that's what I've been waiting for.
Freaking excited, dude! I am so pumped for.
That's crazy. Yeah.
For Game of Thrones next year.
So I know I have the unpopular opinion. I'm just not a huge fan of it.
Yeah, you're wrong.
I'm sure. Okay. Whatever.
Well, speaking of other,
I know I'm in the minority and I have the unpopular opinion. It's fine.
Yeah, you are, but that's okay. The Witcher 3 started either hiring their or not The Witcher 3, but the Witcher TV series is starting to like film, I think, or at least cast. And that's going to be interesting as well. I'd like to see how that goes. This is Netflix, not like Showtime or HBO, but I want that to be good.
Well, on the heels of that, let me ask this question, because we've seen so many video game movies just totally flop, and not just because no one wanted to go watch them, but because they're truly bad. How much is at stake with this Halo series and the Witcher series? How much is at stake there to have this be a viable format to tell more of these stories?
A lot. I mean, if this doesn't work, this and the Witcher one don't work. It might not happen for a while. I mean, there's going to be a sect of gamers that are just going to boycott this because it's Halo and it's not what they wanted it to be, because they're like, well, why is it not X, Y, or Z? And those people are the reason gaming is viewed as toxic, in my opinion. Or part of the reason that sect overlaps. So I hope that isn't enough to like drag down the quality of it. I mean, like the not the quality, but the what's it called? The ratings.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you're going to get some Halo, like big time Halo fans too, because Showtime's going to have to make this appeal to the masses, right? They're going to have to make this appeal to more people than just the people who've played Halo.
Yeah.
Yes.
So is that going to piss off hardcore Halo fans? Like, I know that going in, so I'm okay with it. Are there going to be people, though, that aren't and have a fit? Probably. So it's kind of dangerous, and it's a fine line you're walking, trying to make this work.
Yeah, and like you'd think they'd be able to make this series good because there's so many great series on TV. So why just because it's based on a video game or that, like I don't understand why, like even with these movies, why do all these movies flop that are based on video games? Like I don't
Well, 'cause they're
understand.
bad.
Like but why? Why do they
Well-
let them be bad?
Well, because they don't get a lot of they don't get a big budget for the most
Yes,
part.
okay. So why don't they get a big budget then if these are like huge AAA games? Like Tomb Raider, for example. Like why can't they make that good? And World of Warcraft, that was another one. And Assassin's Creed. Like I don't understand why they're not able to make these movies good and why they don't get the budget. Like it sucks really because we get excited for it and then we see the reviews when it comes out and they say like it's terrible and I'm like, man, that sucks. Like why is it terrible?
Yeah.
Answer me that.
And, well, I don't know. I mean, okay. So part of the problem is that some of the movies that have been made in the past, like Mortal Kombat, sure, like you can try to make a movie out of that, and there was at least one of them that was like pretty decent, wasn't there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we were talking about a miniseries, actually. They had one on, I think it was a YouTube miniseries for Mortal Kombat. And that kind of reminds me now, I'm wondering if they made a new season. But they're all like episodic, and every episode was based on a character. And I thought that was really well done. I think
Yeah.
it was better off in that format than in a movie format. Because you're just trying to ram all these characters like so fast into a movie. So like
Yeah.
none of them gets like a lot of like screen time, and they're like dead or something
Sure.
like that. So I think that warrants like a miniseries for sure.
Yeah. But I mean, what I'm saying though is the majority of the Mortal Kombat movies were not that good,
Yes.
right? The Super
Agreed.
Mario Brothers movie was awful.
Yeah.
But that's because they strayed so far from the central story of like Mario in that movie.
Yeah.
Weren't they on like another planet or something? I think, if I remember right.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I hope these two do well. I hope Halo and The Witcher. I hope both series do well. I think they're both kind of tailor made for this. They just need to pull it off, and they gotta put the production value into it to make it good, and not just try to get by it. Because the problem is, like I said, you have to appeal to a mass audience here, because Halo, as popular as it is, probably sells at most like 10 million copies, maybe 12 for a game. And if that's all the people that go to see the movie or watch the show, the ratings, well, for watching a show, the ratings wouldn't be bad. But if it was a movie and that's all you get, it's not going to be that successful, especially if it has a bigger budget.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to appeal to more people than that, and you got to find a way to do that while still sort of appeasing the hardcore fans that made it big enough to make this in the first place. That's the trick. I don't know how you do it. I'm interested to see what they do. I'm very hopeful for these two. So, all right. Anything else on that?
No.
No.
Okay.
Hopefully it's good.
Hopefully it's good. All right, last thing that we have in news tonight. So Sony spoke out again on the whole crossplay deal. And Sean Layden kind of made a statement this week. Quote, "We're hearing it. We're looking at a lot of the possibilities. You can imagine that the circumstances around that affect a lot more than just one game. I'm confident we'll get to a solution which will be understood and accepted by our gaming community while at the same time supporting our business." End quote. Translation, we're trying to find a way to make this work while still protecting revenue. And that we're hopeful that whatever solution we come up with, people understand. Do you guys have a different interpretation of that?
No, I get the same interpretation.
Yeah. What do you think, Graham? Graham, are you big on crossplay? Do you want to see it? Is it a necessity for you? And what does this statement mean to you?
It's definitely not a necessity. I think it would be great because then you're not like friends. Like if I have friends at PlayStation and I'm on Xbox, well then you don't have that interaction like outside of maybe school or whatever. If you guys live like a distance or whatever like that. So it's really good to break down that barrier. So it's not like, oh, you got Xbox, so but this guy has PlayStation, so we're gonna actually hang out and stuff because we can talk. So for that reason, it'd be nice. And for their statement, they're just blowing smoke. Like, actions speak louder than words. So what are you gonna do about it? Like, I don't want to hear you talking about this. Like, we hear you, and but you haven't heard them before. Like,
Yeah.
they've been talking for a while. So I don't know. So I don't know. It's because their stock is taking a little bit of a hit now, and they're like, okay, maybe we should do something about this. But they make it look like it's such a long and hard and tedious process. And we're not talking about, well, we're talking about crossplay right now, but the thing is, like, we're talking about with Fortnite, how they're locking their Epic account to that system. So that is something that's a lot easier to change.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not buying this BS, so.
Well, here's the thing. Like, they make money off of any purchase done on their console, right? They get something.
Yeah.
Whatever it ends up being. And they're trying to protect that. And from a business standpoint, like, I get it. But when you're the company that says for the players, and then you do this stuff, like, I don't know how you reconcile that in your messaging. Steve, do you think Fortnite's the game that's going to break the dam here?
Yeah, because it is like the crossplay between like Minecraft and all the other games. It's whatever. I mean, you know, it's cool that you can play with people on the system, but I don't care that much. But the fact that they're locking like the Epic accounts, so they can't transfer it onto any of the other systems is ridiculous, and that is where like people are upset, and rightly so, and that's why they have to do some like
Damage
PR
control.
stuff. Yeah, damage control.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Epic accounts are going to get unlocked soonish, you know, unless people stop complaining about it. Because I feel like they're also maybe just waiting for this to kind of blow over and be like,
Yeah.
all right, people were mad for like a month and now they just don't care. And so now, you know, we're going to just quietly ignore it and forget that this was a thing that happened.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking.
I'm with you, and that's the other thing I was going to say, is that I feel like statements like this are basically buying time. And I feel like it's the approach like a parent has with their kid. Like, they're just waiting for them to kind of tire themselves out and go to sleep, you know? And I feel like that's what's happening here. I think Sony's waiting for it to die down and go away so people forget about it.
Yep.
Graham, what do you think?
They might be planning on that, but I don't know if it is. Like you're saying, Fortnite is not going away. It's not getting any weaker. So I think it's going to be around, and I think it's going to force Sony's hand. And I think what they're going to do is like they're going to unlock the Epic account and maybe other accounts, but they're not going to do crossplay. That's set in stone that they're not going to allow that, because Psyonix, they need 1 day. Soon Sony's like, okay, we can do crossplay, and they'll be like, okay, we're good to go, then they can have it. So I don't think we'll see crossplay, but I think their hand will be forced for this unlocking the Epic account for sure.
Yeah, and they're two totally different issues. I'm going to tell you, I don't think Sony's ever going to agree to crossplay. They're not.
No, not on
they-
this system at
no.
least.
They won't do it until they're losing. So if next generation Microsoft's winning, then all of a sudden their attitude will change on these things real fast, because then it'll be PR wins for them. And to be honest, like, you know, let's not all celebrate Microsoft's generosity too much here, because they're kind of doing the same thing. Like, they know they're in a place where they can get a PR victory and look really good in the eyes of gamers, and they're taking advantage of that, and good for them. They should. On the flip side, Sony sold, over 70 million consoles. Like, they don't have to do this, and that's the approach that they're taking.
Yeah, they even said that.
Yep. So, of those 70 million, how many of those players also own a Switch or also own an Xbox? And I think that's a significantly lower number. So how many people are really That's the stuff they're calculating right now. Is how many people are really truly impacted by this? What's the PR risk? And yeah, their stock took a little bit of a hit, but that's probably a short-term impact for them.
Yeah, and like another thing which would affect them minimally, I would think, is like Switch owners that don't have an Xbox One or a PS4 and they're thinking about getting like a home console. Then there is a little bit that would say, well, Xbox and Nintendo is more user friendly, especially if like your dad and you have like kids that play Minecraft. Then there is that kind of appeal as well, right? So I don't think there's a lot there, but if Sony continues down this path, then I think it's going to hurt them, like in the long run, not anywhere in the near future, but so I'm interested to see if they will ever change it.
Yeah. Steve, any final thoughts on that?
No, I don't think. I agree that they're never going to do crossplay, at least not on this generation.
Correct. Yeah.
And I still don't think they're going to unlock the accounts because I think this will blow over. Even if I don't think Fortnite's going away anytime soon.
Nope.
But the complaints will stop because people just get tired of complaining about the same thing over and over and over again.
Yep.
But don't let it stop. You let them know, guys.
Well, it's ridiculous that they do it, but I mean, it's not. I mean, smart business, stupid customer service.
Yep. Totally. All right. That's going to do it for news this week, and we'll go ahead and move into releases.
Now in
We'll
stores.
start with Xbox. So we have, there's literally 3 things coming out on Xbox this week, so it wasn't hard to pick out the 3. Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered, coming out on the 3rd.
Ha!
Yeah, right?
I get it.
You get it? All right.
Yeah, I got it.
What the Box coming out on the 4th, and Warhammer 40k Inquisitor coming out on the 5th. So Games of Gold, new games were announced. You can still get Smite through the 15th, but you can now get, starting on the 1st of July, starting on Sunday, you can get Assault Android Cactus.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Yup, the entire month of July. So Assault Android Cactus, I've been looking forward to that for since I learned about it today. And Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown on the 360 until the 15th of July. So that's what we have for Games of Gold that's active right now. Steve, what do we got for PlayStation?
Well, on the 3rd, you can get Runbow and also Red Faction. And I just find it funny the way they, put the pun in there. It makes it so it's Mars Turd is how you pronounce it. And, my little high school humor there, turd. Hopefully the game's not a turd. But also Warhammer on the 5th. PS Plus games, Heavy Rain and Absolver come on the 1st of July. And that does it for PlayStation. Graham, Nintendo?
Okay, for Nintendo, on July 5th, you can get Awkward. That's the name of the game. And also on the 5th, there is Mushroom Wars. And then on July 6th, we have The Wardrobe. That's what I have.
All right.
Take it away.
So, Steve, I'm going to go to you. What do we have for community questions this week?
Fan mail.
All right. First question comes from CJ3000. He says, do we ever see an E3 where Microsoft and Sony join forces to make a console together? And if so, when would it come out? Next 10 years? How much would you be willing to pay?
Well, I would say you will see this coming out in your dreams. Because I honestly do not see them doing this. They're competitors. They've been in this competition for a long time. And they really have no reason to join forces. Now, the biggest thing they could do was what we were talking about earlier is do crossplay, which is probably not going to happen. So the fact that we're not going to see crossplay, we're probably not going to see them join forces. So, yeah, I would say that's a pipe dream, which is a great dream if it comes true. If I had to guess a time, I don't know, like in the next 20 years, maybe. I don't know. I don't see that happening, though.
Yeah, it's never going to happen. I'm
No.
going to skip answering the last questions because it's not happening. The only way it might is if Google, just comes into the console market and just dominates. and then Microsoft like buys Sony, because I feel like that's more realistic than the other way around. But
Yes.
and that's low possibility. So that's the only way it happens.
It's not going to happen, and it shouldn't happen. And here's why. I know we all have this dream world where, like, there's no console exclusives anymore. You can get anything on whatever system you want, but it's still a business, right? And that's
Yes.
not our concern as players. It's not. But it is their concern. And what we should be concerned about, though, is that competition drives innovation in this industry and really any industry. So we want Microsoft and Sony battling it out over which console's better every generation for the foreseeable future. We want that. Because that's what makes them each get better. And if you take that away and just have one, then they get complacent. And then we see things like the Xbox One rollout, which was really bad, or the PlayStation 3 rollout, which was not so good. So you want that competition there. You want that to drive the innovation and drive the improvement. And if we take that away, I think we're going to regret it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, next question, Piracy. What are your top 3 games you're most excited for that are confirmed to release this year?
Top 3, eh?
Go ahead, Graham.
Oh, me. Okay. Well, I know 2 right off the hop. No, I know all 3. So, in no specific order, we have Super Smash Brothers for the Nintendo Switch. We have Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which I will be on Xbox One, 1X to be precise, and Fallout 76. And I'm so on board with Fallout 76 now, it's crazy. I've been reading reviews on Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, I've been watching videos. Like, I'm so excited for this. I'm very optimistic. I hope I can find some great people, even if you guys are those great people to play with online. But no, I'm excited. Even if you guys don't want to play with me, I don't care. I'll just go do myself, and I'll just enjoy it, because it don't look like it's mainly an online, so I'm very optimistic and excited for sure.
Okay.
Who's next?
All right, I'll go next.
Okay, go ahead.
Unless you wanted to.
No, go.
One
All
of these-
right. So in a particular order, Assassin's Creed. Super excited for Odyssey, and then Red Dead 2, because that game's gonna be amazing, and then Spider-Man at my number 1. And that game looks sweet. I'm excited to play Spider-Man. Fallout 76 is 4th. I guess I'll get it.
None of our 3 coincided.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
because
Yes.
I like good games.
I guess we're officially no longer friends.
My number 3 will be Spider-Man. Number 2 would be Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And number 1 is Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes, at least I
Cannot wait
got
for that game.
one friend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
debatable. Okay, Sandman asks, what character in which game would you gladly switch lives with? And I know my answer. Sora in Kingdom Hearts. Heck yeah, that's what I want to do. Put me in that.
Okay.
Kingdom Hearts. Yep. Too easy.
Okay. Graham.
No, you, Tyler.
Okay. So, can I be the main character from like Leisure Suit Larry?
That's awesome.
All right,
That's
Mike.
an awesome answer.
No. No, from like the bigger franchises or whatever. Let me think here. I don't know. I don't think it would be that great to be Master Chief. That guy gets like put through hell. And Marcus Phoenix even more so. Oh, Nathan Drake actually. That's what I'll go with.
Oh yeah, because he doesn't get put through hell.
Yeah, but he at least gets like treasure at the end and stuff.
Well, I'll say it seems like a lot of these characters get put through hell.
So
You could play one of the Pokemon guys, switch spots with Red from
Yeah.
Be a
Pokemon
trainer?
Red or Blue. Yeah, or Ash or whatever.
That might be the safest approach. Like most of the games I play, there's a chance that I could die, or I do die repeatedly. Okay, I'm gonna say this just because I would like to be this kind of character, maybe strong-willed or powerful or whatever. But I'm gonna go with Geralt from The Witcher.
Okay.
Because I want to be brave enough to take on those creatures. Because if that was real life, there is no way in hell that I would face half those monsters or creatures. I'd be running, screaming. That's okay. I'd be okay with that. But yeah, I would like to be able to be Geralt, and he does get the ladies, so that's always a nice thing. But yeah, no, he met so many awesome characters, so I think that would be awesome. So that's my answer.
Have fun dying.
You guys thought I was gonna say Link, didn't you?
No, I didn't actually.
No.
All right. So Adam from Discord asks, what would you do if gaming became illegal in the U.S.? And I'm gonna add Canada onto that because
What?
Graham.
No,
lived in the US.
there's no canon in this.
Yes, there is. But it did not. It wasn't illegal in the UK. Would you change where you lived?
No, because that would be really expensive. I've always, to be honest with you, Adam, I've always loved the idea of like at least visiting / living in London. It seems like an awesome city, but to move there like just because of video games, I'd have a hard time with that. Besides, I think it's Australia that has to worry about that more than anything because like half the games get banned there.
Yeah.
So. And I
they're
remember
saying they think Cyberpunk will be banned.
Yeah, wasn't it like Alana Pierce from IGN that tweeted out?
Yeah.
Like, first thing, like, there is no chance this game gets released in Australia. So,
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's true.
How about you guys?
No, because again, it's expensive. Though I'd probably be more open to it than you would, because I do love my soccer, and I would, be able to attend Arsenal games in person.
And not have to wake up at 4 in the morning?
And not have to wake up at 4 in the morning. That's the key. I'd be more likely to move to Canada, I think, if it was legal in Canada and illegal in the U.S., because, it requires a little less
Yes.
funds.
Yep. Plus, Graham can just, like, take us in, and yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Graham?
If it became illegal, I would still, I'd figure out a way. I'd make up my own gaming or something. But yeah, I'd probably be like hiding or something. Like, I'd try to game. Why not, right? You tell me I can't game. It's illegal. I'm not down with that. But ultimately, if I had to choose, yeah, I'd be part of that. But I don't think I would. I don't think I see myself moving away, especially because Canada's an amazing country for one. But I don't think I would move just for video games.
Graham or Steve, there'd be a new show like Boardwalk Empire, but starring Graham as like the prohibition of video games. Yeah. So, all right, what else do we got?
All right, from Rumham asks, what is the very first video game you guys remember playing and loving?
Oh, mine's an easy one. Like, I still remember it. And it's not the first one I ever played, because I want to say the first game I ever played might have been Super Mario Brothers. But
Yes,
I remember just, like, falling in love with Mike Tyson's Punch-Out when I was a little kid. And just going through that and getting to the end and trying to beat Tyson and all that stuff. And it took so many tries, but I finally did it. And it just felt so rewarding, and I was kind of hooked on games ever since. Obviously, because we're here doing this. So, but that's the first one I remember like playing and really falling in love with. Graham?
Yeah, I would say the first game that I remember playing was Super Mario Brothers, but it wasn't that game where I'm like, oh, this is so awesome. But I played it a lot just because there's really nothing else to play, or that was just the thing to do. But I think when Super Mario Brothers 3 came out, I love that game. Going to the different worlds and the whistle and fast tracking to the world 8 and stuff like that. That's what I remember. And even stronger, that would probably be Link to the Past or Super Mario World. But it's definitely in the earlier games.
Mm-hmm. Steve?
Mine was my first console game, and that was Harry Potter Quidditch World Cup. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and so the fact that I got to play Quidditch in a video game was awesome. And I loved sports when I still do now, but like that was the easiest way to get into video games, was kind of with the sports related video game. And so that was the first one I loved, and I put hours and hours and hours into that on my GameCube. Yeah.
Question before we go on to the next one. I just thought of this question. I kind of on the heels of what we're talking about here. But did video game releases feel like more of an event back then? Like the big ones? Because I remember like being a kid, I didn't have like right now, if I went and looked at my digital like library on the Xbox One, I promise you I have like 200 games. And that might be lowballing it.
You're lowballing it. I have 500.
Oh my god. So like when I was a kid, I had like in possession, like maybe 2, maybe 3. But a lot of times it was like 1. You know, it was like maybe like a sports game like an NHL or something, and then another like more mainstream video game, right? But that was all I'd have at a given time. So I devote like so much more time and all that stuff into games, and I'd play more of games and do all that stuff, and it was just, I just remember it being really fun. Do you feel like games were more of an event when they released back then? Or, because now, like, even Red Dead's a huge release, and it's going to get buried, well, it's not going to get buried, but it doesn't stand out as much because you've got all these other games coming out right around it. What do you think?
Well, I didn't have the interweb back at that time,
Right.
So I had no idea when any game was coming out for any system. When it came out, first time I didn't even own Mario 3. I had a friend who owned Mario 3, and I might have got it actually later on. I don't quite remember. But yeah, like I didn't know releases or anything like that. So like the game came out and we played it. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like I played Mario 3 before I played Mario 2. I didn't even know what Mario 2 was until like way down the road. I'm like, what? Oh, this is a thing. So yeah, no. As far as releases, they weren't a big thing. I didn't really know about them.
Graham, you didn't have Nintendo Power magazine?
I don't even know where I would have found one. I'm sure there probably was one, but I never saw one.
Oh, Nintendo Power was like the greatest. Anybody in Twitch, if you had Nintendo Power at any point, let us know. There was actually a hotline, Graham, in Nintendo Power magazine that you could call. If you got
I think that was on when you buy a game. That number was on it, wasn't it?
Didn't it cost some ridiculous
Yeah, it
amount
was
of
like
money?
$8
Yeah, like
$5.99
$5.99 a minute or something.
Yeah, it was like something just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that's how we did it back then. Like before YouTube came along, you can just go easily find a way through any area within seconds.
Yep.
Steve, what about you? Like, you know, what did you feel like games were a little bit more of an event when a big one came out back then?
No, I had no idea like about releases and stuff until probably high school. Actually, for sure high school. Like I just kind of got whatever game like looked fun when I'd look at I'd judge a game by its cover. As they say, because, you know, I didn't have money when I was a little kid to kind of rely on whatever my dad or mom, like, I could try to convince them to get. So $20 was, like, the limit. So I'd get a lot of games years after they were released, or at least, you know, when they're discounted. And so it wasn't until, like, high school when I started really, like, understanding that, you know, games released, and then that was, like, the hype machine or whatever. And I think back then, I feel like on the 360 there wasn't as many releases that were that close together. I could be wrong, and maybe I'm just looking at it through like the rose tinted glasses or just misremembering. But I feel like games kind of were more spread out. Like I remember Call of Duty being released to basically nothing else around it. So I don't know. Like I can't say it was more of an event back then because I didn't pay attention to that at all.
And maybe it was just that was more an event for like me. So like real talk for a second, like, you know, when I was growing up, when I was a little kid, like, you know, single parent, my mom like worked her ass off, worked really hard, but to get something like a game was a big deal. So I still remember like some Easters, like getting the Easter basket with like a game in it, you know, and just being so happy. And I didn't realize when I was that young, like what she sacrificed just to make that occur, you know? So that's why I said, like, when I was that age, I had like 2 games at a time, or something like that. So I played a lot more of them, and now I feel so spoiled, man. Like I would be.
We are.
Yeah, we are. I'd probably be embarrassed if I went and like actually counted, Steve, like you did, like what I have in the library. Because there are times now where I'm just like, oh, this looks kind of fun. I guess I'll get it. There are games I bought last year that I still haven't played.
Yup. Dude, I see a game on sale that I'm like kind of interested in maybe at one point in my entire life. And then it's like, $5 instead of 20. And I'm like, all right, picking it up.
Yeah, like, what a great deal. I'll buy this.
It's exactly what I do with Steam, too. Yeah,
Cool.
So it's crazy. It's crazy. I do kind of miss the days, Tyler, when you only had like 4 games and you played the heck out of them.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. All right, what else do we got?
Well, speaking of like old games, Captain Chronic asked, "What's a game you revisit like very often? Like you may not play it fully, but you just revisit it here and there."
So I'll go first. There's 2 series I really like. Halo. I'll revisit that at least every couple years. And then also BioShock. And I haven't done that in a while, and I need to do it. I want to do it this summer. So you said that was from Captain Chronic, by the way, Steve?
Yes.
So shout out to him. Thank you for being a patron. Appreciate that. But yeah, those are the 2 for me that I tend to revisit. What about you guys? Graham, I think I know yours.
I don't even know if I know mine.
Well, I'll go with mine first.
go ahead.
And real quick, I thank Rumham as well for being a sub on Twitch.
Oh yeah, thank you, Rumham.
So mine's Kingdom Hearts. I've probably beaten the first Kingdom Hearts game every year for the last 3 years. And Tyler kind of missed the "What Have We Been Playing" segment, but I that's what I've been playing. I just got through Kingdom Hearts 1, and now I'm on to Chain of Memories. Been streaming it. So yeah, Kingdom Hearts series, but most Kingdom Hearts 1 because that's what I've been playing.
Do I have that much power that if I don't bring it up, you guys won't talk about it?
I was thinking about bringing it up, but
Graham was about to, but then
maybe
I'm about to get like drunk with power here.
Maybe I'll do that after.
Train rolling through the state, train rolling. You're not on board.
You missed your stop.
Missed it.
Well, we had to talk about Graham's shopping spree, so that kind of threw it off.
Oh yeah, because that was way more important. Of course.
So Steve, I'll say
I
this:
a pretty important member of this podcast.
Yeah, but we don't want to hear about you playing Fallout Shelter, Graham.
So Steve, I'll say this: like,
it's not all I played.
Everybody out there, like, you didn't get to see or hear it, but like when E3 was going on and we watched the actual conferences, we did our pre-show, and then the 3 of us would be on mic watching each of the conferences. And when the Microsoft conference was going on and they showed the Kingdom Hearts trailer, like, just to listen to Steve, like, literally screaming.
Man, I was like a little girl.
Yes.
Elsa!
No, it wasn't even like that. You can't, I don't think you can possibly repeat it.
Yep.
I don't want to do the high pitch, though, because I don't want your ears to bleed.
Yeah.
But,
No, spare us. Please spare us.
But that type of stuff is cool, and when you're that, like, passionate about a series, that's awesome. Because then they're doing exactly what they should do, or what they're trying to do, I should say.
Yeah.
And have you have that sort of attachment to it. So that's really cool. Like, we made fun of you because you, like, screamed out, but it was it's cool to see at the same time. Graham, have you thought of something yet?
Yeah, so the one I'm gonna choose, I don't know if this actually fits in this category, but it should, would be NHL. I always go back to my NHL. It don't matter what games or how many games are out there. This time was probably the least amount I've went back to NHL, but I still go back to NHL even though it's almost been a year since it's been out. But up until the next one, it's going to continue that way. That's always my go-to. There's really no particular franchise that I go through. Like, there's many ones that I would like to do. Like, I would love to go through Mass Effect and, like, Fallout and... What's that?
Yeah, have you not, like, replayed all the Zelda games?
No, not really.
Really? That's surprising to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
like, I've tried when they got remastered, but it's kind of a different game, but I've never really went back and played the same game. Kind of like with movies. I don't normally rewatch a movie as well. So...
Okay. Well, I know that. Yeah. So, okay. Cool.
All right.
What else we got, Steve? A couple more.
Okay. Where was it? I just saw it. My bad. Technical difficulties.
All right.
Oh my gosh. Oh, here we are. Garrett Lobig asks, what is the angriest you've gotten at a game you played and why?
I'll let you guys go first.
Steven?
Well, anytime I play with Graham because he's terrible. No, I'm okay. I've gotten pretty mad at NHL and Sea of Thieves, and you know, I think the Sea of Thieves was kind of on Twitch when it happened, because Graham was trying to steer the ship and he just would not. He just spun us in like a circle like 3 times, and I'm like, Graham, what are you doing? And I got mad.
It literally looked like a drunk Etch-a-Sketch drawing.
It was, yes. That's exactly how to describe it.
Yes.
Exactly.
I might have been drinking.
Yeah.
Both
on
ship,
in-game
on
and
ship
IRL.
and off ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, speaking of Kingdom Hearts, might as well go back to that. That was the Riku 2 fight. For those Kingdom Hearts fans will know what I'm talking about. There was an unskippable cutscene back on the PlayStation 2 days that in front of the hardest fight, and the cutscene, it feels longer than it actually is, but it's probably a good 3-4 minutes. But the fact that it's unskippable and that fight's really easy to die in because it's super unfair and the game cheats and it's a hack is ridiculous. No, that might have been the most mad I've ever gotten. Or playing NCAA football against some friends who cheated, and you know, there's been a couple of irrationally angry times.
That's the worst. That's such a great series too. I'd give almost anything to have that come back, but I hear you. There's always exploits in the football games, always.
No, they weren't actually cheating. I was just kidding.
Oh, you were just losing?
I was just losing.
Okay.
And then I threw a pick to like end the game. Because it was actually not. I mean, it was still kind of close, and then the pick sealed it, and that's when I didn't throw a controller, but I threw a headset.
So did you download the rosters when you played those games?
Yes, I did.
I did too, and that's why they're not around anymore.
Yeah, exactly the reason.
That was the first thing I did when I got the game. So,
especially considering that the players, like, you know, the announcers said their names when you downloaded the rosters.
Yeah. Which means they went and recorded it all.
Yeah, and that's what got them in trouble.
Yeah, it was like a wink type thing, you know? And yeah, well, you kind of deserve to get sued at that point. So, Graham, what about you?
Well, I don't recall me getting angry at like any time like recently, but man, as a kid growing up, those games on Nintendo and Super Nintendo when you only have like so many lives and you can't save and stuff like that. Oh, there's times that I got so angry. I don't remember any specifics, but yeah, like I could just imagine how angry I probably got. And yeah, those games were hard. That's when games were really hard because you didn't have all the saves that you have now. Like games are so much easier. Like we're spoiled in that way too, but it kind of makes sense because you put $100, well, let's say $20, whatever, like, and you like lose all your lives and then it's all gone. You got to start from the beginning. That sucks. So.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, back in the day, like it could have been Ninja Turtles. Who knows? Certain games, like you just like die repeatedly at this boss, and like you just get angry. So that's.
Let me ask a question, Graham, before I answer this. Like, do you feel like you've gotten worse at games over the years because it doesn't hold you to that standard anymore?
Definitely more, I guess, ADD. Like I'll move on to something else because like I don't need to work so hard to beat a part, right? Like back when we say we didn't have many games, like we worked so hard and like we real feel sense of accomplishment. But like I think those times are like long gone now. We won't experience those again.
Is that why you haven't moved past the first boss in Dark Souls Remastered? Because you know it holds your hand too much, and it's too easy.
Well, Graham needs to do another Drunk Souls, but we don't want him to. No, we don't want him to die.
no, he doesn't.
I actually want to play that game again. I thought about it a little while ago.
You need to play it sober.
There's so many games. So let's do a little segue. A game that I've been playing is actually Jurassic World Evolution.
Yeah.
And I've actually streamed it a couple times on Twitch.
Yeah, you're trying to kill all of your like guests.
Oh, wow. And Last night I actually hatched a T-Rex, and
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah, it was awesome. I was waiting for him to do the scream. It was perfect. And I had these other carnivores. I forget what their name was, but unless you got like 5 of them in there, they try to break out, and I can't incubate 5 at once, so it was really hard challenge. I finally got it towards the end, but they broke out, and there were 3 of them on loose, and my T-Rex was running down, and they're eating people. It was awesome to watch that chaos, but it's kind of not what the game's about. So it's fun. I've been really enjoying that game, and I've been hearing people really enjoying it. The game really got bashed on by some people in reviews, but I honestly haven't felt a point where it's grindy, so I'm still enjoying it. I got tons. Like, one thing, you got to put in a lot of time to get all the dinosaurs, because there's probably 20 or 30, maybe more dinosaurs that I can unlock, and it takes a bit of time, but it hasn't been that bad, personally.
Okay. All right, so I'll answer the question now. So for me, a game that is like really like ticked me off that much. So I am going to say NHL here, but for a different
Don't blame
reason.
me.
No, I'm not going to blame you, Graham.
Okay.
Graham's super easy to play NHL with, but so what got me wasn't the actual game, because excuse me, I know that when I play NHL, it's like a 11-month development cycle, whatever it is. So it's the game's going to have issues. We've played with a variety of people over the years, and there have been people we played with that just like literally go into like yelling and screaming and having a meltdown like when we play that game. And you guys will agree, like, it has the effect of like the party chat just going dead silent.
Oh, yeah.
Like, nobody wants to talk anymore. Nobody wants to say anything. Nobody's having any fun. And it sucks.
Yeah, it's negative and hostile.
Yeah, and it just makes the game not fun. And it ruined that game for me for a while, to the point where Graham, like, I don't even play it anymore this year. Like, I'm just waiting for the next one.
We're going to revive that, though. We're going to revive you next year.
Well, I'm going to, because we're going to do the tournament before the next one comes out. But yeah, it like ruined that for me. And by the way, everybody, we're looking into just opening up our EASHL club in NHL 19 to the community. But just know, positive gaming community, right? We talked about that, so nobody like that, please. Like,
yeah.
But we want people that just want to come in and have a good time, and like, you know, we're not bad. We're not like top 100 teams, but we're not bad. And we might be a top 100 team, like if we didn't have Steven on the team, but it would be.
Yes.
but yeah, that stuff just ruins it for me.
Yeah, how many 10-point games do you guys have?
Oh, I knew we were going to hear that.
Well,
Like,
you said we wouldn't be top 100 if I was off.
Put it on a tee for you. But like, there are some super cool moments in games like that where you're working together. Like, we've played games where, like, you're up against a team and you don't really know what they're ranked till it's over. You go look it up. But, like, you know you're playing somebody really good. Right? And there were times when we've gone to, like, double overtime and we've lost. And, you know, it just hasn't worked out. But it was a super tight game and it was really fun and all that stuff. And you go look and you see they're ranked. Like there was a time we played a team ranked in the top 10. And we battled with them the entire way. And they ended up beating us by a goal, I think, in overtime. But we battled with them the entire way. That's the stuff that's fun. But when it's like, man, everything turns into an excuse and just like, oh, this game sucks, I hate this, and I'm done, and blah, 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 and just yelling the whole way, and, you know, just give me the puck and get out of my way, then that shuts me down. And so that was the game that has done that to me over time.
All right.
All right.
I'd agree with that.
One more?
Sure. All right, Kalik asked, are hack and slash couch co-op games on their way out? Me and my wife are getting tired of Diablo 3. I'll go first.
Sure.
Yes, kind of, maybe. So, you know, no. let's just finish that. No. I think we're gonna get Diablo 4 at some point soon. There are other options. I don't know if Pillar of Eternity is couch co-op, or not Pillars of Eternity. Path of Exile is couch co-op. But I will say, if you want a good co-op game that's not exactly hack and slash, it's more turn-based, Divinity Original Sin 2. I preached this game many times before, and I'm going to preach it again. It's now in early access on the Xbox store, and the full game comes out in August, in a month from now. But you can play the whole game co-op, and it's got some great writing, and it's a great time. Great time. Awesome game. It got like a 9.7 last year when it came out, and now they did like 5,000 new lines of dialogue, or changed some stuff, and they changed the way the story went and added a whole new tutorial area for the definitive edition. Great, amazing game. Not entirely hack and slash, but if you like RPGs and you like stuff like that, that's a good co-op game. But I don't know if we're going to see any more co-op games in the realm of Diablo 3 until Diablo 4 comes out.
Yeah, I'm with you. We're definitely going to see Diablo 4 at some point. Like, no way we won't.
Well, I think there was hints of Diablo 4 kind of in the production.
Maybe.
Wouldn't surprise me, because it's been a while.
It's probably about right.
Yeah.
That they'd be working on it. But it's way too successful of a series. I hope they don't have like the hiccups they had at launch of Diablo 3 when nobody could get in to play the game. All that stuff, and then there were some problems with like the way loot was dropping and things like that. And they finally got it all worked out, and now it's a game that people like really love. And I actually had a really great time in Diablo 3, which kind of brings me to my point. Like, if games like that come out and they're good, people are going to play them. So, what the problem is when you get a game like Diablo 3, everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people try to mimic Diablo 3. And it's just a less good version of that game. And then people are like, I feel like this is going downhill. So, that's my opinion. I mean, it's a copycat industry. We see a lot of it. Anthem is totally a response to Destiny. So, if it's good, people will get it and play it. So, I think that question will be put to bed when Diablo 4 comes out. Until then, you just hope you get some really good stuff. Graham?
Yeah, like, as far as hack and slash games go, I don't know many other ones. I did watch Path of Exile, and that game was just screaming Diablo 3 ripoff.
All right, you guys are going to get tons of hate for that. I hope you guys are aware.
What's that?
Path of Exile is what Diablo fans wanted Diablo 3 to be.
Oh.
Path of Exile.
Well, I didn't. No. I wasn't calling out.
No.
I wasn't calling out Path of Exile at all. So just to be clear.
I just said I saw like some video, and it did look like Diablo to me. Like, I didn't watch.
That's what it was supposed to be. I mean, that's the idea. It was supposed to be Diablo 3. What Diablo 3 was, what they wanted it to be, based on Diablo 2. A lot of the Diablo 2 fans hated Diablo 3, so be prepared. Just saying.
All right.
So send your mail to,
Steven at
the Gaming Hub Podcast at gmail.com and just address it to Graham.
Yes, that's fine.
Yep.
I'm not perfect. I make mistakes.
Well, we'll just fire you, Graham.
Yeah, sure. Some people might like that. I am a huge Diablo fan, though. That was probably maybe the only game on PC that I actually bought like 2 iterations in a row. I had Diablo 2 and I had Diablo 3, and I even got Reaper of Souls. So I played it and finished it before it even came on Xbox. And I did. If I knew what's going to come on Xbox, maybe I would have waited. But I'm such a huge fan of the series, I want to play it right away. But as other couch co-op games go, I would say if you're on Xbox, give Cuphead a try, because I would say that would be so much fun playing with your wife. I'm not sure, but you guys should try that out. And another one would be Unravel 2, which was free. That would be a fun game, that's on all systems, right? Except for Switch.
Yeah, it's on everything.
So I would say give them a try.
Obviously,
it's not your hack and slash, but definitely give that a try. And for Unravel 2, it's free, so you don't have anything to lose.
It's not.
Oh, no, sorry, it's not. Sorry.
Unravel 2 is not free.
Bad.
Don't tell
no,
that.
we get more backlash. What's this guy talking about? All right, well, in
Now
a
you're
perfect
fired.
world, it would. This is my last episode. Hopefully, you guys all have your lives. No, but definitely try those games. They're not very expensive. They're
No.
not
It's $20,
free, but they're
$20 US.
expensive. So try them out and let us know what you think.
Yeah. All right, Steve, we got a winner to announce. So
We do.
I'll let you do that.
All right, let me do that. So our winner for the month, everyone who asked questions was entered, including anyone who asked questions over E3. But our winner is Unique Gaming, or Gamins. Gamings, I don't know how to pronounce that second part, but Unique Gamins on Discord. So, you send us a message and you'll get your prize, and Tyler, you can tell them what they won.
So you'll get a gift card to the console of your choice, plus a copy of Gears of War 4 for the Xbox One. Hopefully you have an Xbox One, and that'll get sent to you as soon as we get a message from you and get your address. So thank you so much for taking part. Congratulations, and thank you to everybody, because June's been probably our most successful month ever. In fact, not probably, it has been.
And it's
It just
because of
has.
you guys.
Yeah, it's because of everybody out there. We've had so much great interaction from everybody in the community. We thank you so much for that. And as we wrap up June, I just want to make sure that we said thank you to everybody. And let's keep it going. I know we're kind of entering that slow time, but hey, we're going to start doing some tournaments. We actually have looked into doing an MLB The Show tournament for everybody out there. So if you're a PlayStation player and you have MLB The Show and like that, come join the community. Let us know. If we get enough people that want to do it, we'll put it together and we'll do it. So, anything else, guys, before we do the final spiel and get out of here?
Funny, I was going to ask,
Yeah.
are those games in Vault on the PlayStation? But then I realized there's no EA access. Sorry,
No.
guys.
No. Way to rub that in, Graham, right before we go.
Yeah, I know.
For the players and all.
Rub.
It's okay, though. Nintendo doesn't give away free games, so,
Yeah. Well,
Let's attack
no.
Graham.
They're going to bring Purple Rainbow Unicorn at some point.
I forgot about that one.
It's in the cards, boys. It's in the cards.
All right. So, again, if you want to take part in the community, head on over to Facebook. The Gaming Hub forums there. You can go on Twitter at TXH Gaming Hub. You can go on Twitch, TXH Gaming Hub there. We'd really appreciate it if you'd hit follow. And if you choose to support us, if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free sub to use every month. We'd really appreciate it if you use it on us. If not, use it on somebody. And on YouTube, we are the Gaming Hub Podcast. If you go to Twitch or Facebook, you can click on the link for Discord and join the community there. And hey, if you're listening to the show, please subscribe, first of all. And if you really like it, you want to help support us as we continue to grow and do more stuff, because we have a lot of stuff planned. We'd really appreciate your support if you head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/gaminghub. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for episode number 109. We'll be back next week with 110. For Graham and Steve, I'm Tyler saying thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week. Have a great week, everybody. Enjoy Canada Day, Graham, and the 4th of July if you're in the U.S.
That's right. Long weekend for me.
Yep, Graham's going to celebrate freedom next week.
Drink lots of syrup.
Yeah, lots of syrup. So have a great week,
Canadian beer.
everybody. We'll talk to you next week.
Take care, everyone.
Goodbye.